Welcome to the CEO Chick Podcast. I'm your host, Coleen Otero. I brought my day ones on set, and we really just dived into the dynamics of our relationships and how we are able to show up for each other on a daily basis, given our busy lives. So if that sounds like something that interests you, stay tuned. Welcome to our CEO Chick Podcast, and I'm so excited to have with me today two of my day ones. Those are rare, right? Those are rare to have some day ones. I got my two great girlfriends with me. You can call them my business besties. Actually, we do life together, not just in business. So excited to have them on to share some of our journey. CEO Chicks is 10 years, and they've been there since day one. And so I wanted to have this panel discussion for other women that are building. You know what I mean? They're building, and they're not sure how to navigate their friendships. Anytime I post about friendships on social media, it goes viral, it goes berserk, because for whatever reason, this is a very intimate and sensitive topic and space to do life with people and how to work through certain hurdles. And so if this is a topic that you want to dive into, be sure to share it, like, and subscribe. All right, ladies, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Sure. So my name is Jennifer Enders. I am here from Chicago today. So loving this beautiful weather in Orlando. Been with CEO Chicks over 10 years, literally from day one, the first event. Have served as a coach, an executive coach, bringing my corporate background to entrepreneurship. I currently work for LinkedIn and have been in technology sales for almost 2 decades. So definitely dating myself, but excited to be here and on the podcast with you.
I'm excited to have you.
My name is Christina Dontal. I'm located right here in the city beautiful, Orlando, Florida. I actually am born and raised in Central Florida, so I've lived here my entire life. I am a true Floridian. I am a wealth manager with Edward Jones. I've been there for 20 years, really specializing my practice with physicians, doctors, dentists, healthcare professionals, and high-achieving women who really are trying to take their financial journey to the next step.
Beautiful. Well, thank you again for being here. My first question is, how do you put up with me? I'm off the script right now. I almost want to throw it away. I'm looking at it like, I wrote these.
But I would say, how do you put up with
I'm like,
us?
I'm thinking, was it before rest? Now, when Dr. Wendy got done? No.
No,
Was it after rest? And I'm also thinking, should I rest before I have sex? Or, like, is after okay? Like, it's so many things.
And this is our real conversations.
This is
if
it
you
right
are
here.
in any chat with us.
Get rid of the questions.
Get rid of the questions. Let's
dive
just
in.
throw those out.
Let's dive in.
Some of them are good, though.
I know.
Some of them are good.
But
I want you to answer that.
Your first question was, how do we put up with you? But I would say the same. Because
No, you don't get to answer my question with a question.
But I'll get there.
And this is how it goes.
But what I would say is,
What's it like?
as much as we are alike, we are very different as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it is important to have friends that you have enough alikeness, right? That you have passions that you enjoy, you have things that you love to do together, but we're also very different. So when we feel like, okay, that's not what I think should be happening. Like,
Right.
let me share my feedback, or
Right.
let me give you my take on it, right? We really have some of those moments where we're in alignment, and other times we're not. But we, in love, can share with each other that, sis, I'm not sure about that, or the way
Yeah.
that happened. Like, can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's allowed us to flourish and grow as individuals, but also together, which has been really fun.
Yeah, we're like the little what's the show we like again? The Golden Girls.
The Golden
Girls. We're missing one. We're missing one. But
We missing one. We need Shelly. We get
got
to take
Shelley.
Shelly
You're
from
right.
her
You're
Golden
right.
Girls group.
She's not up here right
We
now.
gotta borrow
need her
Shelly
too.
from time to time and throw her in the mix when she's with her group.
There you go.
What about you? What's it like just working together in our dynamic? How would you describe it?
I think what's really great about us is that we choose honor over ego. We honor each other's gifts. We honor each other's families. We honor each other's times. There are seasons when we're doing things together, and there are seasons where, hey, girl, I just got to pass you by because I'm just moving or shaking or whatever. But we just honor it. We don't hold it against each other. We don't put our ego out there like we're better or you're better. Guess what? We all have our seasons, and there are seasons when I've needed you. There are seasons when I've needed you more. There are seasons when I've needed you more. It is just really important that you understand you got to check your ego at the door when you come to real friends and honor their gifting.
Yeah, a little background story. We all met and served in ministry. And that's just, we were definitely destined to do life together ever since then. Even when we went separate ways, we would always find each other. Something I say all the time is real ones find me. That's something that I pray over myself, declare over myself, that real ones always find me, right? And so the way you guys show up are different. So I'm going to share even that, right? So Jen is was at one point, not today, but more involved in like the day-to-day of CEO Chicks and helping and getting started. In fact, when we launched CEO Chicks in 2016, I was like, I think maybe 20, 30 women will show up because I was doing like little brunches and we had about 20 women that would show up. And then I said, let's do our first event. I'll let you know how it goes. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're over 75. Oh my gosh, we're over 100 women and I need help. And then we called Christina and I was like, girls, I need help. And so you guys came to the rescue. You guys will see the picture of it. You're going to see how different we look. We'll make sure we have the picture up of the screen at that first event. And oh my goodness, it was just so life-changing, the energy in the room, all that God was doing in that season, and they have just been there ever since in different ways. So Jennifer had come in and helped with some of the overall just day-to-day grind, things, while Christina, because she was running her practice, will kind of come in on the back end and support in different ways, and not all the time. And at this stage, here we are 10 years later, there are times you guys can be there together. There's times that you can't be. And one of my number one rules is to never be offended. To never be offended, to never take it personal, And I remember one time we were having a conversation. Jennifer says, babe, or she says, sis, I say, babe. She's like, I don't mind being your number two. And I was like, there's no such thing. Like, number two where? Like, I have no number twos in my worlds. Everyone's a number one. Mm-hmm. Everyone's number one in my world. You show up, you shine, that's their gift, do your thing, and we work so well together. And so I kind of just wanted to share like what the dynamic was like, and you want to add anything to it? What was your just viewpoint? I nailed it?
You really did.
You really did.
I will say that first event though was crazy. It was so
You had
fun.
A baby on your hip?
I literally had just had my last son, so number 4. He was born in May, and I think that event was in September. And I was in Chicago at the time, so we had kind of our long distance friendship. And, we could see the murmurings online. And then all of a sudden you sold a T-shirt and everybody bought this T-shirt. It went crazy. And I was like, I got to come. She's like, you just had this baby. I'm like, no, we'll find a babysitter. And I literally did. Found a babysitter in Orlando and came with Clayton and did that event. And it was just so powerful to experience what we had taken over phone calls, online conversation, and see women in the room recognizing for so long they felt like they were by themselves on this entrepreneurial journey, and to look at other faces and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. There are other people who are going through the same struggles that I'm going through. I'm really not by myself. There are other people I can be on this journey with. And it was just explosive. Like, God just blew it up from there. And I think from that very first event, we knew that there was something special about the group and the impact that it would have. And it's just been awesome to see it flourish.
I think that it was, we definitely thought it was something special. I can't even say that loud enough. But my thought when we ended that event is either we are really onto something or we out of control, because we just shifted a whole set of women in one room
Remember
away.
When the giving broke out?
Oh my goodness.
Women just started giving, and they were like, I would like to donate my services. I would like to give a trip to Mexico. I was like, a trip? I want the trip, but put it in the box.
But that has repeated
Put it in the
itself
box.
over and over and over. And every room we've been in, when we went to Chicago, when we did it in Atlanta, when we went to the UK. I mean, women, we realized we're just hungry for, number one, authenticity, because we didn't have it all together. We have struggled. We went through struggles. We didn't do things the right way.
Still
we got
struggle?
it the right way, right. But we learned and we helped each other, and then we had other women helping each other, and it was just.
I think that's why, sometimes when it comes to women empowerment, unfortunately, there has been a negative stigma to it, and now that it's become more popular. And so it's like you put a group of beautiful women, in a room together, and sometimes it has more of the vibe of, be like me. I'm super successful. You want to be exactly like I am, and I don't lead that way. You know what I mean? I lead in a very different way. I'm more introverted. Another fun fact, I think you guys all keynoted at CO Chick events before I did. I was like, girl, you better go do your thing. Like, today's your day. And they're like, Coleen. I'm like, nope, I'm not speaking.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when I finally said, okay, all right, I'll do it. It just took some time for me to really come out of my shell, because I'm such a private person, and I prefer intimacy. But I just commend you guys for walking me through that and giving me grace and all that. Now they can't get me to shut up. And they're like, girl, you need to be a little filtered. I'm like, oh, I wasn't supposed to say that? Oh, I overshared? So it's a work in progress. It's like the pendulum just swung the other way. I hope you're enjoying this episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But right now, I want to shout out our sponsors. We have Popple. You can get your digital business card from Popple. Just go over to their website. You should see the information on the screen, so you can get a digital one-tap business card, ladies. Then we have Bask and Lather, and it is all the rave, and it backs up its claims. Our sponsor for over a year now at the CEO Chick Network is Kylie Cosmetics. We want to shout them out. I'm rocking these colors right now. Leo, Malibu. These are my go-to. And honey, it does not leave. It look. It's awesome. And then new to the family is none other than Look. And if you want the look, honey, these are, at this big old age of 47, I need readers now. But these are progressive lens. And I can wear them when I'm driving. I can use it for reading, and they are stylish. This is one of their newest line that is out by none other than the Ellen Welteroth, if I'm saying that right. But she the bomb. Look it up. It's awesome. Now, go back to this episode. We'll work through it. I want to talk about some of the just your entrepreneurial journey and how you guys operate. You're at Edward Jones, and I remember watching you just hit promotion after promotion after promotion, even in the midst of great trials in your family, and she doesn't look like what she's gone through. And so I really want to talk about just what you're seeing in the space as it pertains to women and their finances and some of your concerns for entrepreneurs.
I think for women entrepreneurs especially, I want you guys to hear me clearly. Stop discounting yourselves. You are not a discount. We are not less than. Charge what you're supposed to charge, right? Set up your team, get the right people in place for yourself. But I think when it comes to a financial perspective, still today, women make less than men. However, the problem is that the world has shifted, and we are starting businesses at a much faster pace than men are. But yet men are still flourishing when it comes to the financial side, because we often discount ourselves, and don't do that. And I see it over and over again. And so that's really what I would share.
Yeah.
Don't be the discount. Stop doing that. I think that's the one thing that you learn here as part of this group, right? You cannot sit in this room and think you're at a small table anymore. You got to be at bigger tables, having bigger discussions, letting people stretch you. When she talks about midwife this morning, letting other women stretch you and being okay with saying, my services cost this much, right? My minimum amount is $3,000 to sit in front of me. You know, understanding what that means and the value that you are bringing to the table, and that is okay. And I will tell you, Coleen has been a pusher of that, because I know we're always like, well, you know, maybe we should take it. No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. It shouldn't be. Even coaching programs and things that you offer. I remember when I paid my first $25,000 for a coaching program, and I'm thinking, we're doing this all the time.
Yeah.
We need to raise the price, because the reward is
It's
going
so
to be
great.
so great, and you have to believe that for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember going through the transition. For those that may not know, I was in the beauty industry, right? And transitioning from beauty into branding and business and coaching and all of those things. It took some time, right, to get to that point. But I remember like really seeing how easy it was to sell wigs versus workshops. Like people are more like they're ready to look the part,
Yes.
but what it requires to become the part
preparation
is internal, right? The Bible says, out of your belly shall flow rivers of living waters, right? And so it's what you put in you. It's how you build yourself and build up your spirit and your soul that will determine where you go in life. You know what I mean? That will determine your ability to be confident to stand in front of the room and say, oh no, it's $5.97 an hour.
That's right.
It's $9.97 an hour, you know? And so I also want you to share, because we talk about this a lot, that about 10% of the female entrepreneurs only ever make six figures. Did you guys know that? A majority of women in business never hit the six-figure mark. And so I think that's important for us to know. It's the why behind what we do. And 90% of the women that do start businesses are solopreneurs.
Yes.
They're by themselves. And so they tend to cap at the 200,000 in revenue because they tend to do business alone. The minute a woman starts a firm and hires a team, you start to see she has a capacity to make $1 million in revenue a year. So you're not called to do it by yourself, and it really determines where you want to go, right? If you're,
Absolutely.
and not everybody is called to scale. Hello, not everybody is called to scale. There are certain things in my book. I have it out there, shameless plug, Get Brand to Bucks. It's on Amazon. It's in my stand store. But I talk about the M factor that all women need to consider before starting a brand.
Absolutely.
And it is, you have to have magnetism. You have to have the ability to draw people to your offer. You have to have manpower. It requires a team. You want to find, when I say who it is, I mean the skill set, not your girlfriend, not your uncle, not your cousin. No, I'm talking about the who is the skill set, the person who has mastered this particular area to assist you with your business. The other thing is money. You have to count up the cost. You have to know how much you need to invest and where where you're going to put it. You have to have a plan. A lot of people don't have a plan. They have a feeling, right? A lot of people have hobbies. And so you really want to take some time to understand what those factors are in your life. The last one is mental capacity, which means emotional intelligence, because there's a level of stress that comes with success.
It is.
Can you handle the pressure of, people's livelihood, financial livelihood, right? That may rely on you. And so I want you to share a little bit of what are some things women should be doing to really diversify, grow their portfolio, and then really stretch. And then I'm gonna come to you to talk about what you're seeing in corporate.
Absolutely. So I think when you're thinking about your financial situation, especially when you're building a business, you have to invest in the business. I loved our conversation the other day, but the most successful business owners I see, and most of my business owners are, at least making seven figures, okay? They have an exit plan already in mind. We reevaluate that every 90 days for them to decide, are they going to stay in this business or are they going to exit it? And so the reason that is important is because it lets us know when we need to invest more. A lot of times we are shy to put forth what it really takes from a financial perspective into our business. But guess what? For many business owners, including women, 80% of your income for retirement, all of those sort of things, is going to come from your business. You have to take the leap to say it's okay if I'm going to invest $5,000 for this program to help my business, $10,000 for that program to help my business. And then as the revenue is coming in, you have to do the right things with it, right? I live by a 70-30 rule. 70% of your income you can use how you want to, but 30% of that income needs to be set aside for whatever next stage you have it for. That could be retirement, that could be college education for your kids. It might just be making an emergency fund for yourself. But you have to separate your finances that way and be disciplined about it. We talked in the very beginning about accountability. That's one of the great things about CEO Chicks and these coaching programs, because we hold you accountable to what you tell us you're going to do. That's hard for all of us. Even the best athletes in the world have a coach to hold them accountable, to help them get better and better. And guess what? If you come to me and say, oh, this is what I did with my money, but that's not what you told me you were going to do. So I kind of have to check you and say, and I've had to tell women, well, here is your prepaid debit card that you only have $200 a month to spend because you overspend, But sometimes you have to get that deep in order to get yourself in a position to save better. And you do need to use investments, real estate. Yes, we have all these other type of investments and alternatives today, but I'm going to remind you, in the United States, the two ways that we have the wealthiest people in this country is going to be the stock market and real estate. They're number one and number two. You can give me 10 other things, but you're not going to get past number one and number two. You can try those other items. I'm not against any of them. But I'm still going to take you back to number one and number two. You got to have real estate. You need to invest in the stock market, and you need to be making sure your money is growing.
Yeah, so good, right? So good, so good, so good. All right, Jen, you are large sales accountant. Like, you are doing great things at managing these accounts at LinkedIn. Share a little bit about what that entails.
Sure. So I'm sure everybody's familiar with LinkedIn. My role is to offer the platform and services to large enterprise corporations. Some of the biggest brands that you see online are those who partner with me. And so I manage a team that oversees the impact of those solutions on hiring talent, whether it's training them through LinkedIn Learning. And that brings me into a lot of conversations about the transformation that is happening in corporate America. What kind of talent they're looking for to drive their initiatives, and how are they continuing to develop them. It's always given me a great opportunity to come back to entrepreneurs and coaching and to share with you all, what should you be doing at your size of business? How are you thinking about the skills that are required for yourself as a solopreneur or your team that are going to help take your business to the next level? And that's what the conversation is. And it's a new conversation now as we talk about artificial intelligence, technology transformation over the last decade, even since I've been in the business, is becoming so accessible, right?
Yeah.
You hear a lot about SaaS, software as a service.
Right.
You get it on your timelines on social media. Buy this CRM.
Yep.
Get this tool. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of tools out there. You want to be learning as much as you can about it, but you can't avoid technology, and you shouldn't. It's going to be critical to your next level of success, for sure.
Yeah. And so that's your word of advice, is like to educate yourself and dive in, learn more about AI, learn more about these various platforms and how you can use it to leverage your business. Share with them, give them a little behind the scenes of how we were able to use technology to leverage CEO Chicks, my branding agency. In fact, Jennifer was key, and may he rest in peace. We had the ability to work with Jesse Jackson. I had the ability to meet him. He signed books for us some years ago. Was it prior to COVID, or?
I think it was.
Was just before?
Right before.
Just before.
Yeah, and we had the ability to do some work services for him and his organization. But just share a little bit about how much that played a role, or what we did.
Sure, I can.
That comes to mind.
I think that technology transformation in your business is important. When we first started with CEO Chicks, we were on YouTube. We were doing our classes over Zoom. We would download them, upload them to YouTube, and that's kind of how it was. And then we transformed into offering courses on an actual program. And we've had a few different programs.
Yeah, we tried different. Yeah.
To be able to make it more accessible, for them to be able to see it on their mobile phone. And those are the kinds of services that we were also offering, and we did with Rainbow grateful push, talking about how to improve their platform for users who are now technically savvy, right? Your clients and your customers have apps galore, right? And so you want to begin to, even if you're on spreadsheets, even if you're using maybe an archaic system now, think about how you can grow yourself to be able to offer something better for your clients and your customers. I think that is just critical. What we're seeing with artificial intelligence, people have, some people are fearful of it, right? Some people think it's so big they aren't sure what to do, but AI has been here and for a very long time, and it's been running behind the scenes in a lot of the solutions you're already using. Mm-hmm. So it's not far off. It is right here with us. And I think that as entrepreneurs, your thoughts should be around how do I utilize it to extend myself?
Yes.
Because you can't do everything, right? But that's your first method of scaling. Where can I bring in a chatbot that can start to answer the very easy questions that I'm taking over a phone call, right? How can I improve the website experience to make it easy for someone to see my offer and interact with me? One of the lowest level and best ways for you to begin to extend yourself and to do something better for your customer base. Just a little tip there.
Yeah, I think that's important. How about you? How is technology in your world?
So, today you can ask ChatGPT, build a portfolio for me. So I do train other advisors, or let me say they ask me to coach them. And so one of the things I always tell people is that, especially building wealth, as you build that over time, you can ask ChatGPT, you can build a portfolio, but as a wealth manager, that's not all I'm looking at. I am also talking to my clients about their tax strategy, their income strategy, like how are you going to take money out of this investment over time, protecting your assets. You may not think that's a big deal, but guess what? Every asset that's in your personal name, as you build wealth and people know you have money, they want to sue you. And they find ways, there was a major brand that just got sued for really just something minor, but that is the environment that we live in. And so I tell advisors and I tell people all the time, as you develop your wealth plan or your wealth strategy, it is not just about the investments, because guess what happens? You can grow your investments and make a lot of money, and then guess who comes knocking at your door? The IRS, because they want their money. And so if you don't have a plan as you're building this wealth in order to avoid taxation or at least minimize it, you won't avoid it altogether, but there are ways that you can minimize that over time, protect yourself. And last, I'll say, I'm usually the quarterback of a financial team. So I am working with your estate planning attorney, your business attorney, your CPA. All of those people need to communicate. They often do not. And I find really about only 10% of advisors operate in that. Those people need to communicate so that you're getting the best advice for your wealth plan.
Wow, that's a lot. We were hanging out just a little bit as we were preparing yesterday, and Jen flew in and all that good stuff, and we were talking about taxes. Because the more we make, the more we're like, all right, what's your tax game? That's a different conversation. And we weep, we cry when we see over 6 figures in taxes being paid. We're like, oh no, we need a better tax person. And so at every level, you want to get more information, more savvy when it comes to taxes. I want you to just share a little bit of what we were talking about in the car.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you begin to make money, as you are, some of us are just W-2 employees, and it's okay to go to a tax preparer. But as you start making 6 figures, you guys were independent contractors that made 6 figures, but there was no taxes withheld from that. So now all of a sudden, you got to understand how to pay estimated taxes every quarter.
Pause right there for a second, because I know it's in the room, like way back in the day.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about structure. I just saw Joy Hunt come into the room. We're going to talk about structure on her panel. But I remember back in the day, we weren't paying ourselves the right way.
Right.
And y'all got on me.
Yes.
First of all, can your friend correct you?
Because a lot of times we just go in and we're like, oh, I'm starting this business. I'm just a sole proprietorship. you're going to get taxed the highest amount.
Yeah.
Okay, so having an LLC, having it set up as an S corp, there is structure to it so that you are not paying the highest amount. Then when you start making 6 or 7 figures, you no longer need a tax preparer. You need to find a CPA. Now, even that has its challenges because I had a good CPA, but I outgrew my CPA because now I'm looking for tax strategy, and all they were doing was preparing my taxes every year. But I need to figure out how to avoid this tax bill, not just have, somebody doing my taxes once a year. So I had to go find somebody to give me tax strategy. Now, she's $3,000. And most of y'all would just look at that and be like, well, I'm not, if you can save me $50,000, I will happily pay you $3,000. Those are the reasons you hire the right people. And we talk about it on a tax perspective, but I would say in every area of our lives. My friend over here is a brand expert. I mean, truthfully, she has an artistic gift that it just doesn't flow through me. And sometimes thinking about I got to make a video, listen. And my friend is my friend, right? I sent her my video I made. She said, you should delete that and start over.
Come on, it's love. I'm like, ooh, sis, it's trash.
This is not good. But the truth is, I needed to hear that. Who's going to be honest with me enough to say that it's not my gifting? She came over. We did this. I paid her. Come on now.
Come on, clap it up for that.
You have to pay for your friends, right? But this is her gift, and it took me almost 2 weeks to do this little 2-minute video that she told me was trash, okay? And she came over to my house for 4 hours, and we knocked out 8 videos. It was beautiful. I mean, these are the reasons you get around women like this, and you pay for and utilize their expertise. It helps you save money. It helps you save time. Your energy is important. As you get older, time moves so quick, so you got to make sure that you're doing that for the women around you.
Yeah. One of the things I love to tell people when I'm sitting down, I'm like, you got to find a Jennifer in your life.
Oh, yes.
Like somebody that will pray for you, push, come see you, pull up. You know what I mean? Pull up. How about pick you up? And when I'm talking about in the spirit.
Yeah.
I'm talking about pick you up and say, how are things? Where are you? What's going on? And that's very rare to find. And so I think being supportive, you were going through the promotion at work and you were having a hard time even trying to juggle. You were like, girl, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, you can't do it. Right? Talk a little bit about that because seasons change. And I know we touched on it briefly before, but we've all gone through different things personally. You had great loss, and we're going through grief at one season in time. Christina lost her son, right? Jen had to relocate and was going through some things with work. And so just having to navigate these life changes. And now she's a caregiver for her mother and father-in-law. Now we're at that age where our parents are getting older and we're just trying to navigate this phase of life all together. So I just want you to just talk about change.
Yeah, it can be difficult. And I think because as we grow and evolve and our families are growing and evolving around us, and then our gifts and our businesses are growing and evolve, sometimes we'll get stuck in the way that it is and wanting that to continue. And it became difficult because I didn't want to leave what I was doing in supporting CEO Chicks in the way that I had for probably almost 6 or 7 years at that point.
Right.
And all of a sudden I recognized I couldn't show up in the same way. Or I was trying to do things, but the quality of my work wasn't where I wanted it to be. And it was such a hard decision. But finally, Coleen looked at me. She's like, it's okay. It's a new season. It's time to do something different. And I'm like, it's not time yet, is it?
But I think that's a critical point for a lot of people because that's where the enemy tries to come in with offense.
Yes.
And we have to be very big, grown up, and really work on our hearts. We have to work on our hearts. We have to be able to be humble and allow God to keep our hearts tender because life changes for people that are with us. And we have to honor the phase of life that they're in. Yeah. And I think that is critical to the success of our relationships.
Absolutely.
And also realize that there's a time and place when we have to give up control. because there's a part of this that it was like Batman and Robin for a while, you know?
Hey, come
and
on.
I'm like, well, then if I don't do it, who else is going to do it?
Yeah.
And if I know how to do it the way that we like to see it done, is somebody else going to do it that way? I don't think so. So I think I should just hold on to it. But the reality was, when I was able to let go, all of a sudden there's more people.
Yeah.
More people started to step in. We started to have a VA team that helped with certain things that, okay, wait, I don't have to do this.
Yes.
And then my role evolved in a different way that I could be supportive to you.
On the board, yeah.
Yes, in a different way, and accelerate success in a different way. And I think that started a very different season in my life, where I even recognized for myself when things were no longer serving me, or I wasn't serving it, wherever it was in my life, to be able to say, okay, this season is done. And let me be a good leader and help with the transition, prepare for that in a more effective way, and then be open to what God has for me next. Right. And it has been for me so many things with my family.
Yeah.
Having 4 children, having elders in our home that we're taking care of on a regular day. But God continues to provide and bless, and CEO Chicks has continued to flourish.
Yeah.
And though we are not on the day-to-day together, we're still very much in sync.
That's right.
Very much, on the wall praying and making sure that, I'm in
It's
a place
beautiful.
that can still support.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I grieved, y'all.
Yeah.
I did. I grieved that. It was tough, like going through that change, because it's like I got trust issues. It's just like lock in right here. I got trust issues. And when you find someone you can trust, like it's just, I hold that so near and dear to my heart. But going through just the growth and leadership development required, and not calling my business or my vision my baby. It's not my baby, because look, you don't sell a baby.
Nope.
Well, not around here. I don't know. It's been a little sketch lately. I've been hearing some things on the news. I'm like,
don't sell a
where
baby.
are we? But we don't, right? You don't sell a baby, right? And so there has to be a level of maturity and almost some of that emotional detachment, I think, to our businesses. And oftentimes, this is the area, I think, where a lot of women can sometimes be the bottleneck in their business.
Yes.
Become so emotionally attached to everything that you won't delegate. And I'm like, when I was grieving that, God said, listen, you're going to be just fine. You have to delegate in order to dominate, Coleen. You can't. I started taking on her task. So, I'm like, well, I'll do it, right? How many of us are like that? I'll do it. It ain't going to get done right, so I'm going to do it anyway. Let me do it. And so we have to keep delegating it. One of my pastor, my spiritual coach, love him to pieces. He said something so powerful. He said, Coleen, if they can get it 80% there, let it go.
That's right.
I said, 80?
80.
Man of God, that's almost like a B.
But it's still passing.
I'm like, I want some A. You know what I mean? I want the A's.
B's get degrees.
B's get degrees.
B's
so
get
do
degrees.
C's.
Now, y'all know I didn't go
There's a
that
lot
route.
of doctors out there with the C
C's
average.
do too. C's do too.
He said if they can get
That's
80%,
it.
let it go.
Let it go.
Release it.
That's
So I
so good.
want you all to keep that in mind too, because we want to be able to grow, right? And there's a difference between growth and scale,
Yes.
all of that. But you want to be able to get there. It requires a different individual on the other side of what you're looking to accomplish. So who you're becoming is so important.
Yes.
And building and becoming her is so important. And so that takes time. That's inner work.
Absolutely.
That's inner healing. Some of that's therapy. Some of it's deliverance for my sisters in Christ who know what I mean. Some of it is, letting go of the past and working through your thought process, reframing some things. How many women have said on coaching calls they hate sales? How many in this room have said, I hate sales? Be honest. I hate sales. I hate and we have to reframe that. Business is about sales. It's about transactions. People love to give me money. That's my reframe. You going to hate sales. You going to hate sales. Miss CEO, Shiro, all the names we got out here now. You going to hate sales. You won't make any.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
You don't
won't.
understand that the power of life and death is in your tongue, and you are already defeated before you started.
That's right.
So you're saying I hate sales, and you got to pitch.
Right.
So while you pitching, the spirit behind what you're saying is, don't close, because this is just, I hate this feeling, I hate this. Like, no, you have to be able to reframe that. Say, I love sales.
I love
People
sales.
love giving me their money.
They do.
People love doing business with me.
That's right.
Come on,
That's
I
right.
solve problems in my sleep.
That's
Listen,
it.
I want y'all to really get that
Come
inside of your soul and understand that you are that girl that can get things done.
Yes.
Right? That's the mindset that it's going to take. Like, it's not all about the hunt and the kill. I had one lady said, I'm just so tired of the hunt and the kill. And I'm like, wait, why is it so bloody? Why is it so violent? What are you selling? I'm like, you from the Bronx. You from the Bronx. You from the boogie down. You out here slaying these dragons. I'm like, you like to shoot, don't you? You got a knife in your purse.
When you get it right.
You got a knife in your purse.
When you do it right, when you do that sales right, and I think we're now walking in that, you create a law of attraction to your business.
Yeah,
right?
come on.
And it is just because you've done it. We've done it, and we've done it well, and we've done it over and over again. And there is a point when that sales relationship shifts to that law of attraction, and now people are just coming to you, and they're waiting on you. And there was a season, or probably in this last couple of years, where it's at least a month, maybe 6 weeks to get on my calendar to see me. And so I felt guilty about that. I'm like, we can't get these people in sooner. They're trying to meet with me. They want to. And then I thought, no, I've done the work. Mm-hmm. And I have shifted from, I got to go get this sale and maybe the hunt and the kill, to people are seeking me out.
That's right.
Because I know I'm offering something different than what there is plenty of advisors in this world. There is. But I'm not out here. My first conversation isn't, hey, you want to buy this stock? You want to talk about this annuity? Let's talk about this life insurance policy. No, that's not my first conversation. Tell me what you want your money to do for you.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about your family.
Yeah.
It's about a relationship.
It really is.
Shift that sales environment,
it really
and it
does.
becomes better and easy.
Yeah, it really does. I think for me, it's the combination of relationship and transaction, because you're not just hiring me. I'm hiring you too.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make sure we're a fit, is what I'm saying in this space. But we have gone over a little bit. Any last words for the audience that's watching and the women in the room that you want to leave them with?
Keep going. Keep going. We are in interesting times right now, and the distractions and the news and all those things that can cause you to easily shift perspective on a whim, don't do it. Sit in silence, be praying, go back to your why, and keep going. That's my advice.
I will say, for me, in every time we have a shift in economies, or the way the world looks, or how things are moving and shaking, the opportunity to become a millionaire presents itself.
Say that.
The opportunity to become a millionaire presents itself.
Now, in this market.
In this market, in this time, during COVID, more business owners were birthed than ever before. Now we're seeing more women business owners than ever before. When the market goes down, I will tell you, the richest people in the world are throwing their money into the stock market or into real estate. I will tell you, there is an opportunity right now for us to change the trajectory of our children's children. What is the legacy you want to build, and how are you going to get there? And look for those opportunities right now.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for being on with us today. Yeah, you can clap for them. Those are my friends. You better get you one of these.
We need some
Yes. I forgot to tell y'all, Christina is the fighter, though. She's a thug. Don't let that light skin fool you. That girl's a thug on the inside. I'm like, my God. Thank God I pray in tongues. And Jen is the one that helps me fix my face. Like
don't
girl.
look like that.
Yeah, fix your face. Fix your face. But thank you all so much for sharing this day. It's true. I'll overshare.
No, we love it. That's who we are. It's all good.
Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to send this to your bestie and those that are building business or building the brand with you. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, all the good things. We'll see you on the next episode. God bless.